Well, hey, we should be live now. You should show up shortly anyway. Hey, we're back. We're doing Shadowrun, this time in our. Wow, I keep forgetting to turn off my volume in. Come on. Sorry, guys. Hang on a second. Too many screens, too many monitors. There we go. Man. Yeah, still getting used to the whole streaming thing. Sorry about that, guys. We're doing some Shadowrun in the Powered by the Apocalypse system. We've been running this on the Notorious DMG channel, but hey, got my own channel now, so why not bring it over here? And pulled over with me. We got a couple of players tonight. We're down a few. So we're going to do character creation and just do a setup for our next adventure. But Chuck, why don't you tell us, anything you want to plug and who your character is, and we'll go through the build into the new system with him.
Yeah, I'm Chuck. I run Defenders of Cobalt. You could find my stuff, twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. I also run stuff on the Goodman Games official Twitch and Free League Publishing. But right now, and it wraps up in like 13 hours, I've got a Kickstarter out there for our zine, Chuck Dies in the End. Give me a second and I'll type up a linkity link because I forgot about links. Links count for things. So, but yeah, and I'll be continuing Ivan, our mage friend. So, yeah, that's what we got.
And Jeff.
I'm Jeff. Run a group called Adventures in Lollygagging. We play tabletop games on twitch.tv/lollygaggers, and we're also on Free League Publishing as well sometimes. Tomorrow night, you can catch all three of us actually over on Free League Publishing as we start a brand new kind of sandboxy Things from the Flood campaign. So that's going to be exciting. And then on alternate Mondays, we play Alien, and over the weekends we play just a bunch of random like indie games and things like that. But we are starting up a Delta Green game later in March, as we're going to be doing some Impossible Landscapes, a new campaign that dropped not too long ago. I am playing Gantu Praboa, a dwarven possible street samurai. We're going to talk about that. But yeah, he's been around since the beginning with Ivan. He's got what's the catchphrase? It's been a while. He's got limbs of chrome and a heart of gold, I think is and his face is kind of covered with blood because the last mission kind of went sideways. So
Nice,
Yeah.
very nice. Well, so let's just do a little background here. I'm Bert, BizLab on the Inner Tubes, run this channel and the podcast of Steam, Steel, and Murder. You can find that at Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com. So, as it said, we'd been running this Shadowrun thing for a while in Notorious DMG. And this is like classic first, second edition Shadowrun, but we're not using the Shadowrun system. We've played it in the Fate system. We played it in Cortex. We did play it in the Shadowrun Anarchy system, which is kind of their stripped down light system. And tonight we're going to play this in Powered by the Apocalypse, which means we're recreating characters in the new system. So, we are going to go over that and just a little bit about what PbtA is for folks that, well, are not experienced with it. So what are some of the PbtA books that are popular right now? So, of course, Powered by the Apocalypse, or what is it called? The Apocalypse Engine, the first one by Richard Baker, I believe it was. Dungeon World. My personal favorite, Pig Smoke, which we ran for a long time on the podcast. And I think, Jeff, you ran Heart, didn't you? That's also a PbtA game.
yeah, I ran that last year. It's basically PbtA. It's got its own little variety to it, but yeah, it's basically PbtA.
Yeah, that heart game is 100% of my exposure to PbtA.
Yeah, a few little things like different types of different die types, but the basic idea of like playbooks and stuff like that and moves is sort of baked into it.
Yeah. So what we're using tonight is not a published. There are plenty of cyberpunk Shadowrun flavored PbtA games out there, but this one is one that's just free on the internet. It's called Sixth World. This is the simplified edition. It's by Chris Klauser and Tanner Yee. Really easy to find if you just Google it out there. It's perfectly serviceable. Works really well. So Let's start with your character, Chuck. So on the screen there, I've put up the very simple character creation process for a basic character, and of course, you guys are experienced, so we're going to level your characters. So Ivan, um, and Jeff, if you want to follow along as well here. So the attributes are sharp, hard, steady, smooth, and skilled. So there are 5 attributes that are kind of adjective describers of your characters, like how sharp are you, how hard are you, etc. So it starts at 0, and you have 4 points that you can distribute amongst those. You can short yourself to a -1 in categories if you want. And what these are is when you roll your dice, 2d6, that's all we use for most of the game. You're going to add or subtract one of these adjective modifiers to that roll. Now, the object is to score 10 or more on your 2d6. When that's a complete great success, you reach and achieve everything you want to do. 7 to 9 is a limited success with a little bit of fail in it. So like you get the most limited amount of what you're trying to achieve, and then usually something bad is tacked onto it. And then 6 or less is just complete failure, and it comes attached with some catastrophe that happens with it as well. So if you want to go ahead and fill out those numbers as you want there, and then we'll do the basic creation first, and then we'll give you your advances since your characters have gone through several adventures at this point.
In gameplay, do those attributes, can you increase those with
Yes.
or like
So I'm going to give you guys 5 advancements. With each advancement, you can increase a stat, gain a new move, gain a move from another playbook, gain the awaken move, which is if you're a non-spellcaster, you can in fact be open to that now, which is something that happened in the Shadowrun universe anyway. So that's kind of cool to put that in there. So yes, those stats can increase, and you'll have the chance to increase them after we make your basic character.
Okay.
By default, we're like it's a 0, right? And
it is a
like
0 at a default, right?
Gotcha.
Now, while you're figuring that out, there are 3 other characteristics: your essence, your karma, and your wounds. And these are just set to begin with. Everybody's essence is 6 to start with. And as you add in cyberware, it drops your essence. Essence is also what powers magic. So just like in the Shadowrun world, as you get more cyborgy, more metal put on you, it becomes harder for you to cast. Karma starts at 0, but you guys are actually going to start at 4. Karma is how much experience you've had, and karma can be blown to do all kinds of really cool stuff. Wounds, everybody starts with 8.
All right. I think I've got mine
Got 'em?
set up.
All right.
Yeah.
For classes, you really only have one class that fits your character, which is the mage.
Yep. And I'm good with that.
Yeah. So you're also an elf. Is that correct?
No, I'm human.
Oh, Ivan is human. All right.
Yeah.
So you have everybody has basic moves. Basic moves are things that everybody in the game could do, regardless of your class or race, etc. As a human, you get an additional move. You start with an extra point of karma. So Chuck, you start with 5. Okay. Now, as a mage, you choose from the list of equipment. Armor. You can have trench coat, light armor jacket, or armor, or an armor charm. And again, you can add in what's happened in the past with your character later, but this is kind of starting him from 0. Any of those would work, because you've picked up actually all 3 of those during the game at some point or other.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna go with the light armor jacket.
Light armor jacket. Okay.
Yeah.
And then a weapon. You choose one of those weapons: a Beretta 101T, Super Hawk, or just a staff.
That's gonna be the Super Hawk.
Okay. And then 3 spell categories of the 5. So there's combat, detection, illusion, health, and manipulation.
So, last run with Ivan, I really was abusing or using the most combat and illusion.
Yeah.
I had 1 health spell, and I would use that time to time. But in previous, runs, I did use detection a decent amount. So I think I'm going to go with combat is my primary with detection and illusion as my secondary, because it chimes in with the spells in the next
Right.
part.
So the next part is you get 2 spells in one of those categories, and then 1 each in the other 2 categories.
Okay. And there's a spell section, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it?
Yeah, there's a whole section of spells towards the end. I'll get you a page number here in just a sec.
Oh, there it is. I found
You
it.
got it?
It's under gear.
Port at page 42.
Okay.
So obviously you're going to have probably Fireball and probably Firebolt out of combat.
Yep. Those will be the 2.
Yeah. And then what else did you take? Illusion?
Yeah, detection and illusion.
Right.
Probably do detect life, just so we can tell if there's someone in the room or not.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of hoping they had a straight translation of mask, but I don't see that.
No, but we can make one of the other ones work under there.
Okay.
I think there is something more similar under the shaman's abilities that can be taken as one of your upgrades.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look at these illusion spells here in a bit and figure out which one I want to pick.
Sure. Yeah, we don't need to have it nailed down just yet. The next part is contacts. We're not even going to worry about that because you guys have in our fiction several contacts already there. And I actually have been keeping track of what your, like how much you've pissed them off or how many favors they owe you. So that's done. Same thing with debts and favors. Money will start when we start our walk into the section. I'll let you know what's going on with that. So the next is starting moves. You get all the core and secondary moves. Cast a spell, center, and counter spell moves. Okay, so you get those 3 moves. Center is what allows you to get back your essence after casting spells without having to take rest.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So yeah, that's starting on page 19. You can look at the mage moves there.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it up here. Yeah.
Now, now for advancing, you have 5 advancements. So you can increase a stat. You can gain a move from your playbook or from another playbook. You don't need the gain awaken move because you're already awoken.
Okay.
Okay. So I think also an advancement will allow you to either gain a new spell category, cost 1 point, and then it costs 1 per spell. Okay. I believe that's how it works. If I'm wrong, we'll correct that in the next one.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I'll look through this and.
So we'll let Ivan go and let's look at Gantu Praboa.
All right,
Gantu. So
I'm
what have
ready
you
to
got
go.
going?
Okay, so
you have 2 that you could choose from. You could be a merc or you could be a street sam.
I am gonna stick with Street Samurai. It was actually a pretty close choice, but I'm gonna stick with Street Samurai. So I got that settled in.
Okay. So you're a dwarf,
mm-hmm.
Which means you get natural low light vision, and you're immune to diseases and poisons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's good. That would come in handy right now, in real life. And then let's see. I just had the other one up. Let me pull up. I was looking at the merc moves really quick. Okay, so I assigned my stats. I already did that while you were talking to when you were like walking Chuck through it. And then basic equipment, I've got Comlink line coat. Then I chose ballistic vest instead of form-fitting armor. I didn't think people wanted to see a form-fitting armor on a dwarf, but
the cat suit, Gantu in the cat suit.
So I went ballistic vest. I'm still thinking on weapons. I think I'm gonna go. Like I know one of the weapons is gonna be an axe, just because it's harkens back to like old dwarven common stuff. cyberware is the big thing
Yeah.
because one of the aspects of Gansu that we've been playing into is that he's just pretty chromed out, and there's been three pieces of cyberware that have been consistent with him throughout. But the two that he started with, going back all the way to the beginning with Fate, was a cyber arm, which he uses his hammer fist. That's his go-to, and then basically a cyber shotgun in his leg. So that's what I ended up with, because the dermal plating I added later when we leveled up at some point. So I have to do 5 essence worth of cyberware.
No, see, here's the thing. It's up to 5 essence worth. So like you can have less or you can have all 5 because you only have 6 essence total.
Right.
And when you go to 0 essence, you become like more machine than man, and essentially become an NPC at that point.
Yeah, I'm pretty like, it's either because the problem is that the cyber arm, if I want that's 3 essence, and both of the other 2 are 2 essence. So I can only get 2. But
tell you what, why don't we
tap
just
all my essence?
Let's go ahead and combine some of those, and I'll figure it out how that's going to work towards because your character has them. We've already established this in the fiction. So for now, just put in all the cyber that we've done in the game. So like, don't worry about the cost. We'll figure out how that's going to leave him after the fact.
Right. I mean, I'm totally fine with if you just want to do the cyber arm and the cyber gun, which puts me at 5 essence, which is the max I can take, and then the dermal plating. I have the ballistic vest now, so like we could kind of waive the dermal plating at that point, which is another 2 essence. So
I think what we'll do is that we'll have the karma that you have extra to spend is like per karma, that's 1 extra piece of gear that you can have that doesn't count off towards your essence. Maybe we'll do it that way.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
And so then I just have to figure out my other 3 weapons. I also have to, like you said, don't worry about the contacts. I do have to create a code because the word samurai means something on these streets. So I have to create the code of honor that you follow. I was hoping you and Chuck might want to help. Like, judging from Gantu's behavior over these months, how would you
never let a good business go unexploited?
I feel like that's true. Like, you can never have too many small businesses in your diverse portfolio.
Well, you gotta. So Gantu's our real punchy dude, right? You're our tank.
Basically,
your damage output, but kind of the
slowly emerged to being something of a face.
That's what I was getting at. Like, maybe part of your code could be like, combat is a last resort to civil conversation or something like that. Maybe
like second choice.
Okay, yeah.
I was thinking something like that too, like talk first, smash second, or something like that. It's kind of the code, I think. So that's what I'm gonna kind of pencil in right now. Talk first, smash second.
It's an evolving thing, really. I mean, ethics,
It wasn't always that. It used to be smash first. One of my first things in Fate was like smash first, questions later. I remember that. And now it's completely opposite. I've grown over time. All right. So that's my code. Talk first, smash second.
I like
Okay.
All right.
And so that's basically it for me.
Well, I'll tell you what then, let's just jump in and let's get to the fiction, and we'll get to a certain point where we'll just call it for a night because we're down on players and we don't want it to get too hairy from the get-go, all right? So I'm going to ask both of you a question. It's been roughly 6 months since the last run you were on, got back from your not-so-sunny alcohol-filled adventure and vacation. Through Mr. Morlock, your face, and the person who's been giving you all kinds of interesting runs lately, and he's kind of you left it with him kind of making a pact with you. He doesn't know why you guys have been singled out to do these really odd runs, and he is curious, something that he doesn't often indulge with because it's bad for business, but his interest has peaked now. You guys have been back in town for 6 months, and my question to you is, what happened in the last 6 months that you guys have been rendered next to destitute after having so much money gained? What's happened? And it can be as a group something happened to you, or just individually, because Gantu's got like what,
Yeah.
half a dozen businesses going on.
And that's what I'm gonna say. Somebody, like I'm gonna say my businesses just like dominoes just kept going under, one after the other after the other. There's just something happened, like with my laundry business, where like the chemicals I were using were shown to, like they were the wrong chemicals, and they harmed some people apparently. And so I had this inspection that I had to get over, and that inspection, all that kind of work. And then it happened again in my like kind of, I don't know, the other businesses I have. I've lost track of everything I have at this point. But I'm like, it's like constantly, it's almost suspicious how poor everything has gone, and how many complaints, like these little like customer complaints that are leading to like inspections, that are leading to shutdowns, that are leading to like fines, and I've been paying fines left and right just to keep the businesses afloat. And then I'm just tapped at a certain point.
All right. So are you have you lost your businesses? Are you hanging on to them by a thread at this point, and they're all just money losers? Or are you down to
I
like
feel
just your
like
golden business that you're hanging on to?
I feel like I'm down to just the cleaning service. Like
Just the
that's all
cleaning
I got.
service,
And I'm
okay.
clinging to that, and it's not going well. I still have a handful of like consistent contacts that that will still use me, and they'll throw me like a mercy gig every now and then. But it hasn't, yeah, like all the other ones I've had to sell off, or someone has come in and lowballed me, strangely enough, considering the name of my bowling company. Like the secure, like my lowballing bowling crew, they found other jobs, so we really couldn't get the security gig off and running. So like they're working in themselves now.
Oh, but does
So
the bowling league still exist? Do you still get
oh
together
yeah,
on a Wednesday
nothing
night to
comes.
bowl?
Look, businesses rise and fall, but bowling is forever. So,
All right.
no,
All right.
yeah.
So let's say your cleaning crew, one of the things that's kept it afloat is you're actually now doing like crime scene cleanup.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
you
makes
got
perfect
licensed
sense.
for crime scene cleanup.
Yeah, you don't got to worry about people getting rashes and hurting themselves when they're dead already. So it's fine. Yeah.
It's perfect.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense. So essentially you've got you're looking at a very bleak future. You've got enough money in the bank for maybe another month worth of keeping yourself and your company afloat. And it's been pretty grim. You've been kind of staying away from runs because of what's been going on, and it's been getting some notice, and you're letting things cool down a little bit. But now you're looking at that the dwindling bank accounts, and you're wondering if maybe it's not time to get back into that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Chuck, what happened to Ivan? Flush with so much cash, and then in 6 months, what happened?
I got sued a lot. Yeah, some minor arguments with a few, totem dealers, and tempers flared, buildings flared, and I was found personally liable. So yeah, I got some lawsuits against me, and lost all of that cash that I had, that I was swimming in. Probably since then, I'm probably just tagging around with Gantu, helping him clean crime scenes.
Right.
Yeah, I've laid off all of my staff, and it's really just the two of us now at this point, and we're
Hey, Fireball's a wonderful cleaning agent.
It is like, yeah. We did have one very important lesson, and that's that I can't do any detect life on the bodies, because that can mess with our payday if the wrong answer comes back up.
Nice. So you still have the state against Ivan in the unrestrained magic case that's coming up. It's a big one,
Yeah.
That's like hard time.
Yeah.
This one's not just a fine, and that's been worrying you lately. So you guys are both fairly just depressed, down on your luck. I'm going to say you haven't. This is perfect explanation as to why Chris's character Techno G isn't around today. You've actually lost track of Techno. He went way underground when you guys got back. Occasionally, if you get on the nets, you'll hear a little bit about him causing some trouble here and there, but he's been completely out of contact. And your orc friend as well. Once you got back, they went deep underground. Just protection, maybe. So yeah, the band has been broken. You guys are mopping up after a particularly horrendous crime. There's you got the bucket of body parts. Literally, it's got hands and legs laying out of it. Yeah, the police don't even pick up that stuff anymore.
Man.
Some of these crime scenes. So you guys are cleaning up. This is just a really, it was once a nice office building if you just ignore the whole side that's been taken out by some kind of detonation. And the city won't finish the demolishing until all the genetic material is removed first. So you guys are in here cleaning up. It's just the two of you in your jumpsuits, feeling pretty morose, not really talking much to each other. And as you're just about ready to finish up, there's a black van that comes to a screeching halt right outside of the blown open front entrance of this office building. And you see window rolls down, black tinted window, and a face sticks out. And he's definitely dressed down. He's wearing a ball cap pulled down really low. He's wearing shades. He's got these big collared shirt on that's very bright, and is that sequined rhinestones on there? But it's Murloc.
Oh.
And he looks over at you guys.
I'm gonna say that Gantu is actually staring because I know he's not supposed to, but he's so shocked. And once he sees the humpback, he quickly diverts his eyes and kind of tries to cover him, and he gets like cleaning supplies in his eyes, and he just spends the next 30 seconds screaming in pain from the burning.
Put up the mop buckets and mops, boys. It's your lucky night. You're all invited to a party. And side of the door kind of irises opened. The inside has actually got these plush seats, and you can see that there's a wet bar set up. It's just him in there, though.
He's driving?
He's driving.
Wow. I guess,
what happened to you, man? Like, I know we're fucking down on our luck, but...
Hey, no questions yet. Get in the van. It's secure in here. Finish what you got to do here. I'm not gonna kill your payday, but like I said, there's a party going on, and you're invited. Party in the Barrens. As you guys know, the Barrens are it's a bad part of town. Police don't go there. The news actually posts the weekend body count, and it's like what would you call it? It's like a lottery. People can guess how many people died in the Barrens over the weekend. The person closest to the body count wins a certain amount of money. Yeah, so the Barrens is not a great place. Of course, you guys had a hangout in the Barrens for a while there.
Yeah.
What kind of part are we talking about? Oh, this hurts so bad. Oh, God.
The kind of party that pays. And I got some clothes in here that'll fit you.
Yeah. I'm in.
All right. So, hey, I'm going to say you guys actually inherited the van. Technology didn't even come back for his van. So you've got the van.
Oh, wow.
You've got the cleaning van, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm good.
I wouldn't be driving Techno's van, but I would be driving my van.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. We probably got the van parked somewhere because I don't know how to work that thing.
I don't know how to work it. I tried to make some toast once, and I don't know, a drone blew up like a second story window. I don't understand.
Yeah, we're in the cleaning van.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, we need to because we're on a job. So.
Yeah. So you hop in?
Yeah.
All right. The door closes, and he takes off. And he's driving the speed limit, but he's changing lanes really frequently. You kind of get the idea that he doesn't drive much, but he likes the idea of driving. As soon as you guys are settled, he throws back an envelope, and he tells you, find some clothes in there, have some alcohol, whatever you like. This is not a social call, buddies. This is business.
So there isn't a party, is what you're saying?
Oh, there's a party, but this party is all about the biz.
Okay.
Okay. If he's got clothes, I'll find something that's not my work jumpsuit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got several, modern styles out. These are actually fairly nice. As you know, Murloc's pretty wealthy, um, and he
Are there any
didn't.
bowling shirts?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But it's like custom. It's
Yeah.
made of actual silk.
Yeah. Maybe some rhinestones or something.
He seems to have a predominant amount of fashion sense that includes rhinestones.
I can get
Yeah,
on board.
it's just
This
his
is
thing.
fun.
It takes away from the humpback.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who grabbed the envelope? He just tossed an envelope back to you.
I'll grab
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, there's a cred chip inside. Everybody has your little personal information units. You can scan it. It's a unregistered cred chip that's got 500 new yen in it. It's like, look, the contact wants you specifically, and he's willing to pay you $500 to see him. Now, yeah, I know what you're thinking as he's weaving back and forth. You hear cars honking around him. So it sounds like a setup, but no. Look, I think it's another one of these special runs. I really want to get to the bottom of this.
Was it,
Like,
go ahead.
special like the German run.
Special like the German run. One bit of information we've gotten out of all of this so far is the one name, Harlequin. I haven't found anything on it. I don't know if you guys have been looking into it or not, but this seems like it's another one of those. He's paid some shell company or somebody to get you hired for another one of these oddball runs.
The only one who would have been adept enough to probably dig something up is who the hell knows where, probably halfway to Baltimore or some such right now. And
Who knows? It could be a name. It could be a project. Could be a government thing. Don't know. But you know what? Maybe he looks back and he's completely taking his eyes off the roads, and you hear tires squealing and horns blaring. I really, really want to know what's going on here. Oh! He gets back to the wheel. This is a hard, sharp
how
left.
much do you want to know? How much do you want to know?
Well, I don't know what this client's paying yet. That's what he paid to get you specifically. So we'll see, and I will sweeten the pot. Tell you what.
Okay.
Tell you what. It's worth. He takes his hands off the wheel and looks over at his little personal information thing.
This
starts
ain't an
scrolling through
automated.
You can hear the sound of crashing automobiles around you. It's like,
I'm
okay,
gonna
look.
reach over and just grab the wheel for him at this point.
All right. Look, I'm willing to go like 4 days. Let's see, 4 days. How much do I make in 4 days? Carry the one. Look, whatever you're offered for this mission, I will give you an additional 100,000. Yeah, that's a good average. 100,000 in 4 days. That's about what I'm. 100,000. No, all for you guys, for whatever you dig up, divide it however you want. But whatever they pay you, I'll give you an additional 100,000 to take this job, and of course, let me know what's going on with it.
Okay.
He is, by the way, completely. He's normally very polished, very very hoity-toity. He is just loving being behind the wheel. He's kind of dropped that whole persona. He looks like he is having the time of his life.
Hey, don't you normally like travel around with like all mess load of like, mercs and such? And
Oh yeah, of course, but we don't know what this Harlequin thing is, right? I mean, maybe whatever it is, maybe they've got somebody within my guards. Maybe they report back. This is easiest way I could figure to make this just between us.
And you haven't seen like anyone like poking around in your business or messing around with your accounts?
People
or...
always pick around in my business. They try to poach runners. They try to. Well, there's more than one person trying to off me, but we've pretty much got that settled.
Okay.
But I am positive this has nothing to do with my business, other than they used me to get you guys involved.
Right. So you could say that basically our current situation is your fault, right?
Well, in that you were hired to do a job, sure.
Right. And then we did like extra stuff on top of it for you and told you information and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
We didn't
yeah, and I
necessarily
paid you for
delegate.
that. Paid you really well for that.
Okay. Just, I mean, you don't, okay, it's fine. 100K. Just, I thought maybe a little more, but old time's sake, after everything we've been through, all those things we did, those little extra little odds and ends we did in Germany for you, and culture's information here and there that we probably didn't have to tell, but we did, But hey, hey, we just 100K.
Sure, this sounds a lot like you're trying to get a little bit more money out of the situation.
Yeah, I am.
All right, let's see what. Yeah, let's see what fits that the most here. Probably. Sorry, this is our first time going through this, so I'm not familiar yet with the common rules. Let's do this as a pulling string sort of thing. This definitely is a smooth roll. So you're going to roll 2d6 plus whatever you have in smooth. I have a little macro at the bottom of the screen there. If you push it, it should ask what the modifier is before the roll.
Gotta add that first. All right. So it should be a +1. My smooth is 1. So roll an 8. So that should be success with consequence or something.
You're right. Success with a consequence. All right, so... Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I understand. I've been watching the markets. You lost all your businesses, right? This is the last one you're hanging on to.
Lost is an interesting verb you chose there. I don't really think they were lost so much as they were taken from me through a very complex conspiracy of various city officials and businesses and such. Basically, someone's targeting me is what I'm fairly certain of at this point. Yeah, I'm struggling.
Okay, I tell you what. I will double my bonus to 200,000, but I want a favor from your company.
Okay.
There's occasionally scenes that need to be cleaned up after I hire runners to do particular things. They're not as good. They're not as professional as you guys are. And they leave behind a lot of evidence. It'd be really useful if I had a company that could clean up evidence like that on speed dial. Of course, I'd pay your company rates, but...
Sure.
To get preferential treatment when I call, say, at 3 a.m.
Oh, sure.
There's some bodies that need to be removed and a crime scene that needs to be cleaned of any evidence.
This seems like kind of a win-win situation, because with a little bit more of that investment capital that you're throwing my way, I'll be able to hire on more staff once again, who then will be able to be on 24-hour call for you, because right now it's just Avid and I are dealing with most of the issues here. We're in between employees at the moment.
Nice. I did notice, though, that the captain threw 100 bits at the beginning, so there are some re-rolls in there. That's 4 re-rolls if you need to use it. We can bank solid. Whatever doesn't get to use. All right, good enough. So the car continues on its mad way, crashing through traffic. Literally, he just pushes cars off the road that he feels they're too slow. This van is just built like a tank. It just muscles through everything. So, Ivan, what did you find in the clothing? What do you look like?
Well, I was trying to, I like to, kind of underdress and, but seeing how fancy Gantu looks in that bowling shirt, I want to, like you got like a suit or something like that, or dress up a little bit.
A casual party suit that's got like a thin coat on that's not really a coat but just looks nice.
Yeah,
sure.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, you're wearing a suit that cost more than you've made in the last month.
Yeah, that sounds right. It doesn't take much, but that sounds right.
Right. Gantu has got a really nice sequin bowling shirt on. And what else completes that outfit?
So I think generally Gantu kind of wears, a tank top. So I think what he'll probably do is wear the bowling shirt more like a coat over top of like his, is whatnot. But I'll definitely look for a kind of a nice cut of pants to better cover up the sort of the cyber leg, which pants I've been wearing are cargo pants. They're a little torn. They've been getting a lot of different types of materials and chemicals on them, and so they're
It's
ripping and
got
staining.
bleach
So
stains everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
so something like that. So a nice fresh pair of pants that goes all the way down to the cuff to the ankle to cover up the shoddy a little bit better.
All right. Good enough. Good enough. So the van comes to a screeching halt across the street from an old building. Again, you're in the Barren. So most of the buildings here are destroyed or in bad condition. People are just living out of the shells of buildings. This one's remarkably mostly intact. It looks like it was an old fire station. It's actually still got the emblem on the front that says Fire Station 118 etched into the cornerstones of the stone building. And there is definitely a party going on. You can hear the thumping of the bass. You can see light strobing through some of the windows. There is a couple of heavy trolls up front. Basically, they're doing a check. Just you're across the street from the action going on, but it looks like they're not allowing anybody to come in with weapons. The other thing that you guys notice is that the clientele seems to be almost completely elves or elf wannabes. You now recognize the ear reconstruction, etc.
No, not this shit again.
Yeah.
Well, this is the end of the line, guys. Oh, did I tell you? Yeah, they don't let you pack artillery in there. If you got anything on you, you can leave them in the van. I'll wait here for you. I was your ride, so I'll be your ride back.
Nope. Okay. All right.
Oh, don't worry. I can leave this and I'll just set my revolver down.
Nice
It's
piece.
more for, yeah, thank you. It's more for decoration.
Bet it's
I'll say just
decorated
because I
inside of
haven't
more than one building. Yeah.
I'll say because I haven't actually decided which weapons I'm carrying that I really only have the hammer fist and like the hidden shotgun leg.
Mhm.
So those are the only two things I would have.
Okay. Yeah,
on me
so you don't
anyway.
normally carry anything.
Yeah. So that's all I would have anyway. So yeah,
All right, good
I'm
enough.
not taking those off for him.
Any preparations you want to make before going across? If you want to just
Well,
stop for a minute and look, it looks like most people either got dropped off here because this is not the kind of place where you leave a car parked and left alone.
Who is it we are going to see in here? If you're not coming with us, like who are we going to?
Oh,
Wait.
they'll recognize you, but just look for the ugliest elf you've ever laid eyes on.
Really?
Yeah.
Techno G's in there? No kidding.
Oh, he's positively an Adonis compared to this guy. He actually brings up a picture on his personal communication unit. And he's not even obviously elven other than the ears, but his face is crisscrossed with scars, long healed. And the scars go through even the top of his scalp, so the hair isn't growing back in quite right, and where it is growing back in is coming back in a different color. It is perhaps the ugliest elf you've ever seen.
Yep, that definitely looks like Techno G. Okay. I'm just gonna try to. I kind of just want to like take a moment to, like, I know it's clear that some people are getting like. I want to see like security, like cameras, stuff like that. I just want to kind of get a general sense of what we're walking into, like if anyone's packing or if anyone's like hiding,
Sure.
anything like that.
Sounds like checking the situation. It's a plus sharp roll.
Plus what? I'm sorry. Say it again. Sharp.
Plus
Okay,
sharp.
Yeah. So sharp. I got a 1. So let's give that a go. 7 should be success with consequence.
Okay. In this case, it just means that you can ask one question. So some examples, this is on page 7, is where's my best escape route, way in or way past, which enemy is most vulnerable to me, which enemy is the biggest threat, what should I be on the lookout for, what's my enemy's true position, who's really in control here, or just any other question you can think about as far as the observation of the area goes. So you can ask one question.
Okay, this is under. Sorry.
Check the
This is under
situation, core moves, page 7.
core moves. All right. Check. It's the very first one.
Yep.
I
If
think
you don't
I'll-
mind, Chuck, could you drop the link to this web page that I'm getting the info from
Yeah.
into the? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
web page, guys. It's it's
Hmm.
really easy to navigate.
What should I be on the lookout for? Seems like the best thing to do with one.
Sure, in a place like this, a lot of elves. Elves generally mean money. In the middle of the barrens, I'd be on the lookout for gangers looking to bust in on the party.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Halloweenies coming.
Yeah, so the thing that you get out of this is if you make use of that information, you'll get a +1 to the roll. So this is called a +1
Okay.
forward.
Gotcha.
Okay.
What are you doing? What do you think, Ivan? You ready for this?
I guess we could just turn invisible and walk in and scout it out first.
I mean, listen, man, I don't know nothing about magic, but I know that there's a lot of magic sometimes that is there, but I can't see it. So can you see magicals like man, if we start doing magic, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're doing magic stuff," and that draws attention to us more than the rhinestone bowling shirt does. Is that a good thing?
Uh,
Plus, they won't be able to
Yeah.
see us then. Oh, but we could see the ugly elf first.
but we could see them. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, some of my skills aren't exactly where they used to be. So, I could read the mind of someone.
I mean, maybe we just like that. Use that later.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, we're already dirt poor. You're gonna go to prison soon because you've got a problem setting yourself on fire, and
It's, I can't
Yeah.
argue with that.
all right. Okay. As I'll get out of the van at this point.
I'll be here waiting. He pulls out like a old school magazine with actual paper and he starts cranking like troll thrash music. Just totally out of character to what you normally would expect Mr. Morlock to enjoy. He's got a big smile on his face. He just lights up a really expensive cigar and just settles back into his very plush driving seat.
When we're out of the van, I will lean over down. Something seemed different about him than
Yeah,
Like, he's
something
all-
seems a lot different.
I think. Like he got laid or something recently. He's just super relaxed and comfortable in his skin or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something's real weird.
I don't trust him anymore. I don't know. Just waiting to see if he can hear me. Okay, I think we're all right.
You join the line, and sure enough, you're what you had prior you were thinking of earlier is true. You see several cars that come up and just drop off party goers. Nobody's leaving their vehicles here.
Mhm.
People are getting wanded at the door. Again, a couple of fairly burly looking trolls who are, they're pretty good mannered. Some people are trying to tip a little higher to get in, a nice fashionable gun or something for self-protection. They're not having any of it. They're like, nope. They do have a box out here where they're collecting things for people that don't have a place to put their weapons but can't be brought inside. So eventually it's your turn up to the gate. They just kind of give you the nod when they see you're dressed appropriately. They don't make any mention of the fact that gone to you're a dwarf, right? I keep forgetting
I'm a
this.
dwarf.
You're a dwarf. Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't make any mention of that, although most people actually near all the people in line are elves or elf wannabes, humans that have gone under surgery to
Okay.
look more elf-like.
Nobody's perfect. It's fine.
Yeah. So excuse me, Ivan, you're the first up. You're wanded. You don't carry anything on you normally, not even like a dagger or a knife, nothing like that, right?
I left my gun in the car. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's no, there's no cover charge. You're wanded and you're let in. And immediately as you drop onto the floor, the whole floor is just it's a dance club. People are bumping and grinding out there. There are lights. It's very heavy, very drone-like music going on. There's a very long bar to the back where there's people are just lining up for drinks. There's lots of Waitrons going around with shots. People are just buying shots off the trays, doing that. It doesn't look like there's any specific, like there's nothing on the walls to tell you what the party's about. It just looks like it's a spontaneous party. They've got a live DJ. Yeah, I mean, it's you're a pretty good looking guy for an elf, right?
Human.
Yeah, you walk in, you're dragged immediately onto the dance floor. Just some young party goer just drag you in. And yeah, techno. You come in. You're not dragged in quite so freely, but eventually someone does grab your arm and pull you onto the dance floor. And so you guys go on, start enjoying yourself. You're noticing that there is a little bit of security around. You're seeing there's a few orcs, there's a few trolls. It does kind of make you wonder because the security all seem to be of that particular meta type, the large, brooding, and let's say ugly meta type, whereas the party goers here are definitely not. They're the beautiful people, right? Dressed well. These are not. You would say they're slumming it almost like. People that have obvious wealth coming out to the Barrens to have an impromptu dance party, that is flirting with danger for sure, especially where they are. But there are some around that look like they're providing protection. So you guys are dancing around.
The people who pulled us out, are they?
Sure.
So are they also attractive?
Oh yeah, highly so. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just start as whoever I'm dancing with. Like, so how much they paying you to be here too? It's a good price tag for me tonight. How much they paying you to just make this look good?
Yeah, the music is so loud that it's really hard to communicate. They kind of guess at what you're trying to say, and it pulls out basically their little personal information unit, and they shoot you across some information. Thing that says like "great party, isn't it?" And it's their contact information. This guy's an exec. With the young elven technologists.
I remember them. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So Ivan, you're dancing around the floor too. You got a couple elven ladies that are looking you up and down. You get a couple of texts come over your unit, basically saying like, "Hey, are you new? Are you the new guy in the data pool?"
Yeah, I'll respond back like, "Sure am."
All right. You get some more texts flying back and forth. Apparently, this is a party for the young elven technologists. It's something that they do on occasion, just for whenever they get new young crew in, just as a welcome sort of thing. They just do them in odd places like this. They're just like, wow, this is a great place to work. This is a really great club to be part of. So you get a lot of that coming across. Nothing here cost anything. Like you see people lining up at the bars, getting drinks. No one's paying any money. There's no cred ships being passed off back or anywhere. It looks like it's all gratis.
Is there any food?
There is food.
I'm gonna put some of that in my pockets for later.
You never know when that could come in handy,
because we've been eating a lot of ramen lately. Ramen and cereal. It's like college all over again.
Yep. And because it's been a trope in our games, there's a coffee bar.
Yes. Excellent.
There's a guy there grinding coffee grounds, and behind him there's actually a small roasters that are roasting it on site, keeping everybody caffeinated in alcohol.
I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for two things.
Mhm.
Obviously, the ugliest sin elf, but also signs of anybody who might stand out from this attractive, who might be like bangers or people maybe coming in already, like people who have already slipped in somehow, like maybe setting up something. Because I know last time we were in a club together, it went bad very long
Right.
time ago. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is from your other move you made. Check the situation. You got the +1 forward, and you were warned. You had the idea that maybe so you're continuing with that. You're looking around to see if you see any gang signs. Go ahead and make me another move. Check the situation is plus sharp, but then get that get that +1 forward on this roll as well.
Oh, that's a 9.
Okay, good roll. Let's see. It's still in the just the one. So
Yeah.
you had a specific question, which I'll answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are actually.
Okay.
They're kind of being, they're hanging around the corners. You notice that they are hanging around what you would think of as the entrances and exits. You're counting maybe only like half a dozen of them that look kind of shady, but they're definitely trying to position themselves around entrances and exits.
All right. So with that information, I'll dance, get a little finger food in my mouth, and then I'll like bump into Ivan and be like, we've got bogeys at like 12, 7, not with my hands, sorry, 12, 7, 4, and 6. And then I'll start like doing the same kind of shimmy over towards some of the security, because you said there was security in here, right? And I'll start being like, man, I heard the strangest thing out of that son of a gun over there by that exit, man. He was just all talking, all sort of, you might want to be careful around here. And I'll just kind of casually drop a notion.
Okay. That is probably trying to manipulate someone. So why don't you give me a plus smooth roll to see how well he's going to take this, if he's going to listen to you or not.
Another 9. So yeah.
All right. Okay. Mark XP. So somewhere, just keep track that you've earned an XP.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's like, all right. Looks you up and down. A little short for this party, aren't you?
No, I've been planning on being here a long time. Oh, my stature. Yeah, I came with a friend.
Yeah.
+1. Well, plus half.
Yeah. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, he'll walk off and check into what you're.
Yeah, I used to be in security. Oh, okay. Used to be in security company.
Nice. Yeah, so he goes off in that direction. You see he's having a conversation with the guy who immediately looks tense, guarded. Unfortunately, the security guard is not looking. He looks too casual to you, like he's not taking this serious. Whereas the ganger looks like he's ready for nastiness to happen.
I just don't understand how we went out of business. I don't understand. This is ridiculous. We're way better than this.
Are there any female gangers?
High low, and then just roll me like a D100.
Let's go high.
Okay. Ooh,
91.
high. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. Half of them are.
Cool. All right. What I want to do is I want to kind of know what they're on edge about. So I'm going to use a spell, Mind Probe. But the thing is I got to touch one of them for it to work. So I want to play up that I'm drunk, and I want to, saunter on over to one of them and kind of, put my hand on their shoulder and be like, hey, you want to dance? But while doing that, I'm going to be using the Mind Probe spell to learn a thing about them.
Sure. Let's take care of the spell first, and then we'll see how they react to you. So what grouping is this in part of?
This is detection, so it would be sharp.
Detection. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find it here in my. There we go. So you're doing Mind Probe.
Yep. And it costs 2 essence.
All right. Mark off the essence, and it happens. Okay, so you get to learn one thing. Okay.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the main force of their gang to basically come and bust this thing up. They're supposed to signal when the place seems to be at maximum capacity, therefore maximum yield, before they're called in.
So yeah, I learned that. I asked her for a dance.
Yeah, let's see how that turns out.
Yeah.
So this is an orc, although on the plus side, it's the most attractive orc you've seen. Take that as you will, but most attractive orc you've seen. Go ahead and give me a seduce manipulate. It's just plus smooth. Give me plus smooth.
There we go.
7. Okay, it's a success. Right, like at first, she tenses up when you lay that hand on her, and then so what are the words that you say? What do you just say? You want to dance?
Be like, hey, you look fun. Let us dance.
Nice. What's your smooth?
It's at 2.
Oh, okay. At first, you think that she is either going to punch you or say something vulgar, but she looks you up and down, just gives a shrug like, yeah, why not?
There we go. All right.
Mark an XP, and so gets onto the dance floor with you and shows off some of those some of those new moves out there that maybe you're not so up with.
Nice.
Now, while you guys are doing this, you do happen to see that at the end of the bar has some stools. Of course, most people are just standing and talking, but there is somebody sitting at the very end of the bar on a stool. It's a corner that's mostly out of the way. I mean, this whole thing is a dance floor. There's not like any booths or really places for people to be able to have casual conversations. But he's at the very end of the bar. He's sitting on a stool. You see he's lighting up a cigar. When you do it, the illumination catches all the scars on this guy's face, and so both of you see this.
Okay. Also, while dancing and seeing that, I do want to try and drop a line to Gantu, like via text or whatnot. Like the gangers are waiting for more partiers to show up, and then they're gonna attack.
You would have the same gear your characters have had. Nothing's been repossessed, so you've got your comms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then I'll just tell you that, man.
Yeah. Okay. We want to just like see if this guy wants that ugly one there just wants to have the convo like outside. Like I don't want to be here when stuff goes down.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good fighting crowds, but not fighting in crowds.
Right. Just like the last time why is it every time we go to clubs like brawls happen? I didn't even start the last one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just go talk to him. Ask him
Let's
to talk
go.
outside.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah. Well, you guys wander up, and he looks at you over a cigar, and you think either he's thinking for a minute or he's accessing data. Could be either one because he does have a cyber eye, which there's a scar right above and right below. Looks like it probably took his eye, and he's had it replaced. Very nice model. Gantu, you're noticing. I expected there to be more of you.
We've got connections if we need them. We're really just the forward facing. We're the planners. We're the brains.
Yes.
All right. Good enough. My offer will be the same, no matter how many of you are there anyway. He looks around and he says, "Grab yourself a drink and follow me."
All right.
Okay, this stuff's about to go down.
I would expect so. Yes.
Okay, and we're going somewhere where we're not going to be interrupted by that, right?
Not immediately. We'll finish our business and be out before it gets too ugly, I would expect.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I will order my customary apple teeny. And off we go.
Not unusual for the crowd that's dancing here now. So you get your apple
Got a
teeny.
taste for these.
Yes.
Yeah, I want a peach margarita. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Whip them right up. He leads you basically out fire door into the back alley. He looks up, and you guys see that there are a couple of gangers on the roof, and they just nod to him. He nods back, and he kind of flashes like 5, like that. Guy on the roof nods back. Let's get to it then. Yes, it's not often that I hire runners. My real name and organization that I represent is unimportant, and I understand is not typical to give out.
Yeah, it's fine. Anonymity is pretty standard.
Yes. All you need to know is that this group, these young Elden technologists, they've committed a number of atrocities that they've just thus far not been punished for. With your help, I intend to rectify this injustice.
Like, what kind of atrocities we talking about? Just got an example or two. Just curious.
Perhaps I've given more personal information that should matter to our business arrangement. Let me cut to the chase. This is not wet work unless you choose for it to be so. First, located somewhere on their home premises, there's a computer system with a data store with a number of backdoor passcodes to systems that have some very influential institutions attached to them. I want 2 copies of these passcodes. Second, one of these copies must be delivered to the private suite used by Iran the Scribe. He visits there quite often. His next visit is scheduled for this Sunday. Along with a passcode, you must leave a sealed missive to our mutual acquaintance. I understand you have had, what do they call them, runs? Runs involving Iran before?
And, not getting into details, but...
Then I have the right group, yes. Third, a quick matrix run to Dasern Securities and Investments. This is where the other copy of the passcode may prove beneficial, as it will allow you entrance. And he passes over information over his pan. It's the branch office, basically net address to this securities firm. They have security software, but that passcode can circumvent it. All you have to do is determine which passcode to use, and once inside, go to the liquidations subprocessor. Once you're there, he pulls out a chip. Upload this program. It'll handle the rest. Now, if you agree, the run can take place no later than tomorrow night. They have no meeting scheduled until Iran arrives on Saturday, so there should only be a skeleton crew present. More importantly, Daysum Securities and Investments audit all of its branches on Monday morning. So this won't leave any time for a cover-up to be performed if you do it into this time frame.
Okay. So we go to their compound, we hack their computers, we steal 2 codes, deliver one to Iran the Scribe along with a letter. Then we go to the security investments company, use the codes to get in, go to liquidation and upload program within next 24 hours.
When you've completed this, take both your passcodes, give it to Mr. Murlock, and I have already prepaid, well, after our meeting here, what we come to an agreement of. Let's say 120,000 new yen for the job, which I'm prepared to pay up front. Your reputation is quite stellar.
I like that number.
Stellar, 120K is stellar. I mean,
It's a simple enough
120K
run.
is excellent. 150K is stellar.
Okay. All right. Tell you what. Give me a plus smooth roll. Yeah.
I need money.
Yeah. Yeah.
really, really
You're so
need
broke.
money.
Lawyers
Okay.
are not cheap.
I'll use a reroll.
You go right ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Captain Curie. There we go. That's better.
All right. I understand that a certain back and forth is often required to show one's usefulness. I'm not prepared for the banter. I'll meet your terms, but I can only give you what I initially stated in advance. The rest will have to be, if I can send it to Mr. Murlock as a final payment.
That sounds fine. Of course.
Okay. He pulls out a cred chip, programs it, hands it to you. Remember, the timing is all important.
It
Okay.
always is. And I say that after like a couple of beats where it's like awkward silence.
Yep. So he looks down and you see he had a timer going for 5 minutes and it's down to 3, 2, 1. And you guys hear gunshots from the front of the building. Music to my ears. It's time we made our good evenings, gentlemen.
Yeah,
I agree.
And
Yeah.
he starts walking to the end of the alley where there's a car waiting for him and gets in.
we should get out of here.
Right. I don't think he wants us to follow him, but can we get on the maybe get old Morlock or Moorcock or what was his name? Morlock on the. I've been writing it Moorcock since the very beginning,
Yeah.
just because it makes me laugh every time I write it down. But it's Morlock. I know it is. I'm sorry. I'm a juvenile.
A dwarf with a lump needs a little extra, so more cock it is.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll be like, you want to meet us around back? I think the front side of the building might be in a bit of a pickle.
All right. So over the strains of the techno grunge troll music that's blaring in his van, you hear him say, "Okay." And then, you see the blaze of headlights, and he's barreling through the back alley, trash cans being knocked aside. You hear the screech of a cat, and he pulls in, pulls in next to the gate, just as there's a whoomph from inside, and a bunch of windows are blown outwards from explosions inside.
Okay, I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, we seriously need to find Techno.
Yeah.
All right. So as you pull out, he posts some information to your units. Basically, he's like, "Hey, just in case you guys might need this, I thought I'd run the plates and identifiers of that car that just pulled out of here." And he sends that information across to you.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys.
You want to come on the run with us?
It's like, "Oh, I'm just slumming it tonight. This is great. I haven't done this in 20 years. But there's no money in this. And I love money."
Me too. If there's no money in it, if you think that, hang on, let me double check how much you're giving us. 200K is not a whole lot of money. Feel free to give us more.
I like you. I like you, Gantu. When we get to the bottom of this and find out what's going on, I'll make sure there's a big payday in it. How's that?
That sounds great. Part of me think he's threatening me, but yeah, that sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that we'll end the session there then. Introduction to the next caper. You guys have seen Murlock's softer side.
Yeah. Don't know how I feel about it, but we've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's really Murlock, anyway.
Yeah, it's Techno in
I don't
disguise.
trust anyone anymore.
He's puppeting him.
Yeah.
It's just a dragon that's just having fun as a gnome or something. Whatever.
Nice. All right. Well, guys, so we were down players tonight, so we're making this a short session. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. And, Jeff, you got anything coming up you want to plug?
Yeah, big things tomorrow. So tomorrow over on Free League Publishing, 9 Central, you can catch all three of us as we're starting a brand new game, Things from the Flood. So it's like teens playing in the 90s, and it's like kind of like a Twin Peaks vibe. Is what we're gonna be doing, and we're doing like a sandbox, and we're building the sandbox, building characters tomorrow. So if you want to come hang out with us tomorrow night, you can help us build that sandbox. And then I think on Friday this week, I think also 9 Central. I think we're trying out kind of like we're playing Electric Bashland again, but there's kind of a spin on it. It's like a zombie version. I can't remember the name of the zine. Unfortunately, it's by I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you can try that out. So that's twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers.
Oh, awesome! Check that out. And I'm in on the one on Monday, I believe. So
Yeah, you're in tomorrow. Yeah,
all
for
right.
sure. You're
Pencil that in. Chuck, you got anything?
Yeah, the big thing is our Kickstarter. It wraps up 10 a.m. in the morning. So if you haven't backed it yet, you should go, go give it a back. Miracles can happen. But yeah, I'll be hanging out with Jeff and Bert tomorrow night. Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Central. Jeremy's running some spectaculars for, Jeff and I will be there along with some of the other DOK crew. This Friday on Defenders of Cobalt, I'm running Mutineer Zero. It'll be our last Mutineer Zero game for a little bit because we're going to put it on break a little bit, and we're going to run some Alien. We're going to do, was it Chariot of the Gods, I think. So we'll run that.
First one. Nice.
Yeah. And then we'll get back to Mutineer Zero. Saturday, during the day, we're starting off a new 5th Ed campaign based on, Studio Ghibli vibes. But it's recorded only, so you'll check it on YouTube later that day. And then Saturday night over on twitch.tv/Goodman Games Official, we're going to be kicking off the Empire of the East, the new adventure setting.
I'm in that
Goodman
one.
Games put out. You're in that one, Bert,
pencil.
So yeah.
Where'd that pencil go? Yeah, old brain, forget stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. So I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So our next stream will be a first edition game on Tuesday, followed by a BX Classic Dungeons and Dragons game on Friday. We'll be doing the Shadowrun here every other Sunday, and that other Pocket Sunday is just going to be fun games, just single shot fun games. Not sure what's going to be up next Sunday. Maybe early edition Gamma World is in the offing for some of the podcast folks that I stream with. So possibly Gamma World. Well, guys, thanks for showing up. And I really want to get into this one. I am a big fan of PbtA games. So
Nice.
Say goodnight to everybody.
Everybody.
Later.